Welcome, 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 everyone. Welcome. Thank you for attending. I'm so excited to meet everyone today. Thank you. Thank you so much. My name is Kelechi. For those who don't know me, I'm really camera shy. Eventually, as you work one-on-one with me, you continue to see me on video. I'm very passionate about the world of Agile. I feel like at some point, Scrum Masters will be needed in the moon and in Mars. But yeah, it's something I'm really passionate about. It's something I've worked on with a lot of my clients that have worked with me one-on-one. They've been able to secure very good and high-paying roles in the big companies. And that's because I try to make sure that the passion in me, I transfer it to those I work with. And so they always sound very excited and enthusiastic during their interviews. So I'm really happy that, I don't know how you got invited to the group, but I'm really happy and grateful that you're here. And I know that one way or the other, we would always work together to help each other achieve our dreams and aspirations, because I know that it's possible. Once we put God in front of you, everything is possible. So welcome. The goal is for us to find very good paying jobs. The journey to financial freedom starts with a good paying job. At least with steady income, you'll be able to sort out some bills, some debts. And then eventually in the long run, we can all strive towards becoming business owners and having a system that works for us all. But usually the first step is to have a good, steady paying job so that you'll be able to be more comfortable to do certain things. And to achieve that, we really need to stand out in the job market, because there are so many people looking for jobs. I can't even tell you enough, because for example, for the CSM, CSPO, SAFE certifications, right? On a daily basis, we have classes that are fully booked. Sometimes I have to reach out to Simply Axis to plead with them to squeeze 1 or 2 people in. But most of the time, their classes are fully booked. And that's to tell you that a lot of people are seeing the benefits in being agile, being in Scrum. Most of these companies, even manufacturers, bakeries now are asking for Scrum Masters. Would you imagine? Immigration, they're also looking for Scrum Masters. I was checking online the other day, because even when I'm not job hunting, I usually job hunt sometimes for my clients. So sometimes I just see immigration, IRCC is looking for a Scrum Master, and I'm like, whoa, even immigration is looking for a Scrum Master. So a lot of these companies are seeing that having a Scrum Master on your team helps speed up productivity, helps speed up efficiency. And in general, it just gives the company a better image, because when you start having good feedback and good customer experiences, then you're going to have more business, right? So these companies are quickly catching up, and they're seeing how companies are outperforming their competition by having Scrum in place, having good Scrum Masters. And so it's a huge opportunity for us all to take advantage of. So 6 main career considerations for identifying your job goals. Number of hours. Scrum Master roles have very good hours. There are sometimes my clients tell me that just between 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock, they are done for the day. And I'm like, wow, I can attest to that, because I also experienced that. I'm a senior Scrum Master myself, heading towards the Agile coach journey. And so in terms of the number of hours, in terms of flexibility of your schedule, Scrum Master will give you that opportunity. Remote opportunities for sure. Last year, a lot of my clients secured multiple roles. Some of them were remote, some of them were hybrid. And now with COVID, the remote opportunities are even springing up faster, because companies are seeing that now they can save costs by not being in the office, and they're also able to secure good personnel by having remote opportunities in place. So it's something that is going to even increase in number in the near future. In terms of wages, if you were here for the last class, it was Jyoti presented on Thursday, and she highlighted that a Scrum Master salary has a median of about $103,000 right? USD. And so that was from a LinkedIn research. And so in terms of compensation, it's good compensation, if you ask me. The title is also prestigious. More and more companies, every day, more and more companies are getting used to that Scrum Master role. So it's something really prestigious, and it's not for everyone. It's actually a managerial role. So someone who just finished from university really needs experience before they're able to secure their first Scrum Master role. This slide was from Jyoti's presentation last week. I just wanted, I put it in my slide to reiterate the benefits. So the median base salary, 103,000, job openings, over 2,000 plus roles, which is about 67% year-on-year growth from previous years. This was a LinkedIn research done in 2019. So you can imagine what the figures will be saying by 2022. So in terms of career advancement score, it has an 80% career advancement score, which means that it's very easy to grow, it's very easy to rise, because it's a new area that a lot of companies are still are just waking up to. So the growth opportunities there are high, because it's something that has good career prospects if you know what you're doing. Top skills required: Scrum, agile methodologies, software development, business analysis, software development lifecycle. All these things, you'll be able to get them during your training sessions when you do your certifications. I'm assuming that most of us here have done our certifications and our trainings. Reactions, please. If thumbs up if you have done your training and your certification, please. So I'm getting some thumbs up. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4. 4/12. That's alarming, guys. What are we waiting for? We need to get our certifications done. Those certifications usually come with training, like a 2-day crash course, right? To at least expose you to the needed information you need to start running, right? So having 4 people out of 13 people on the call is below 50%. Maybe I'm not doing too well announcing on the chat how important this is. So I'm going to scold myself after this call. But I really want to encourage all of us. Knowledge is power, information is golden. Please try and get your certifications done. It is very, very easy to get it done. Some people say that $360 is really, really high. It's an investment. By the time you earn 100 or something thousand, look at the return on investment on your training. So knowledge is not expensive. And we don't want to try ignorance, because we'll be left behind, right? So ignorance is not an option. Knowledge is what we're pushing for. Please, let's all try to get our certifications and our trainings done. Because the world is rapidly changing. Tesla, as we all know, you see what's happening with Elon Musk and Twitter. Everyone knows the value of good information. So, and companies are becoming stronger and stronger by acquiring one another. So we don't want to be left behind. Let's continue to develop ourselves. So since we don't have so many people on the call that have their certifications, I'm just going to go quickly, because my assumption is that anyone in the Scrum Hub would be up to speed with knowledge because they are attending their trainings. But I'll just breeze through quickly. An agile team is sought after because they are self-organizing, they are co-located ideally, but with COVID now, we've seen that they are not they don't have to be co-located to perform. And even before COVID, a lot of developers are based mainly in India, Romania, and all those other countries. And so this whole co-located element needs to be revised, in my opinion. An agile team is long-lived. They stay together for a while because they are very high performing and they bond easily. A truly agile team, because there are values, there are principles, there are pillars behind agile. So if those pillars, values, principles are implemented properly, that team should be long-lived, and we shouldn't be having the developers leaving because they're not satisfied, right? So that is why we need good Scrum Masters to always be there to ensure that the Agile team is long-lived, is self-organizing, is cross-functional, and is dedicated to the work that they are committing to. So the Scrum Master is like that thread that aligns all the fabric and makes sure that the maximum value is achieved by managing the process. The Scrum Master does not manage anyone. I put a question, I think it was last week, about which Scrum value is my favorite. A true Scrum Master should not have any favorite. Should not have any favorite value. So that's the answer right there. So yeah, those who said focus, I'm a bit biased to focus, as you guys can tell, but it's usually focus and the rest, focus and the others. Others are actually as important as focus. So that Scrum Master is supposed to be able to evangelize Agile, encourage the team, promote those values, principles, and pillars, both to the team, organization, and to the product owner. So you will need to do a lot of coaching, you need to do a lot of mentoring, you need to do a lot of teaching so that those Agile pillars, principles, Scrum values are well promoted, and you will see value, real value. At the end of this call, we're going to go into part 2, and part 2 is going to be like a role play between a product owner, a development team, and a client or an organization. So yeah, stay tuned and let's try to be here till the end, please. So this session is different from the other ones because we're going to be having a lot of participation from everyone. So I don't know if Amara, I don't know if you've been able to post it yet on the chat, the mural link.
It's on the chat.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. The Scrum Master helps everyone change these interactions to maximize the value created by the Scrum team. The Scrum Master facilitates Scrum ceremonies and promotes Agile principles and Scrum values. Let us go to Mural to flesh out the roles and responsibilities of a Scrum Master, because I really need to know what your perception about a Scrum Master role is. So I'm just going to move over now to Mural, and everyone, I encourage you to please participate so that I can get that feedback from you. Thank you. Are we here?
Yes. Yeah. So what are we to do?
Yes, please just take a sticky note and just comment on the board what you think are the roles of a Scrum Master, please. We have 7 users, but I'm only seeing 1 cursor moving.
Yeah, sorry, please. I'm just trying to download. It's not allowing me here.
Just try. Okay, so I'm seeing remove impediments, is a coach, facilitates Scrum ceremonies. Interesting. So even though we've not done our trainings, we are quite knowledgeable about what the role is about, which is good. Mentor, interesting. Servant leader to the team, interesting. Facilitate Scrum ceremonies, yes, we've read that before. Okay, thank you. Manages the Scrum process, wonderful. Coaching, brilliant. Coaching the team on the Agile principles, amazing. And values, amazing, amazing, guys. Thank you. Thank you for this active participation. We'll come back to the mural board. There's a lot of activity for us today. Don't worry, we're here. We're in this journey together. Let me go back to the Zoom session. Okay, so back to our presentation. Thank you so much for participating on the mural board. I hope we had fun doing that. We're going to have a lot of discussions in this session, like I mentioned, so don't worry, stay tuned. So I have a question now. How come more industries are needing Scrum Masters? Let's discuss this, because before the Scrum Master role was mostly associated with IT. So why do we think that other industries are needing Scrum Masters now? The floor is open to discuss, so feel free to unmute yourself. Don't worry about raising your hand, Jamila. Talk. Don't worry. Hey.
Personally, I feel it's because because everybody wants to move from the waterfall to agile, right? Everybody wants to be agile. I feel like the waterfall processes is like really slow and outdated. So everybody wants to move to like the agile processes. So for you to be able to move to agile, you definitely need a Scrum Master. So
so I'm also, can I speak?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So you know that agility is about moving faster, right? And I think these companies, they've actually seen that maybe if at first they were being hesitant to start being agile, they are seeing that it's actually working. You know, being agile is now a thing, and it works for companies, because if you look at some companies that have gone extinct because they were not agile enough to be able to compete in the market. So they've now seen the need to start hiring Scrum Masters for many, start having these agile teams so that they are always relevant and always adding value to their customers. So that's what I think.
Interesting.
Well, so technically speaking, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Technically speaking, the waterfall methodology, when you start so you finish, you can add, right? You just have to go through it to the end. But with agile methodology, especially Scrum, you can add incrementally, right? You can correct, you can fail fast, so you can correct before the end, rather than you're done with the project, you discover there's an error and started from the get-go. So that's why they're adopting agile, because you can deliver incrementally and reach your definition of done. Thanks.
Thank you for sharing those insights. Does anyone have anything to add, to chime in?
Yeah, I wanted to add that before, when a company has competitive advantage, they stay with it for years and years, and we saw Microsoft. But now with IT and software as a service, you are more likely to have competitive advantage for a very short period of time. And so that is one of the reasons why you need agile, because if you're trying to use the waterfall method, you realize that you're going to use years and years to develop a product, and by that time it's become obsolete because of IT. So because of that, people realize that agile is more beneficial and would maintain that competitive advantage. And that's why now, because agile is coming into different industries, and that's why they need Scrum Masters too.
Interesting. Really interesting. Thank you so much, guys, for contributing. Does anyone have anything to chime in? No? Okay. So from what all the speakers mentioned, one thing I caught was agility, one thing I caught was speed, and one other thing I caught was putting the customer at the center of it all. Because if you go with speed without putting the customer at the center of it all, you've missed it. You'll be so fast that you crash somewhere. But if you carry feedback, you collect feedback while you're being agile, and you inspect, adapt based on that feedback, then you're being truly agile, and you're going to get maximum value from the speed. Thank you, everyone. The whole goal is for us for the organization to align strategy, portfolio, product releases, and iterations, right? From the daily stand-up to all the way to the many years of implementing the business's strategy. So that is really why we need the Scrum Master. We need that Scrum Master to be that people person, to be that manager of the process, to be that person that ensures alignment this is the agile planning onion, to ensure alignment across board. So this is not the Scrum training class. For more information, I really encourage everyone here to go get their training and certifications. Okay, essentially, what do we want? We want in Agile, individuals and interactions over processes and tools. working software over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, and we want to respond to change over following a plan. Some companies spend years upon years planning. As they continue to plan without putting the customer at the center, change keeps happening at the other end, and before you know it, they become extinct. A lot of companies are going to go extinct, believe me. There are some companies that you see today that you may not see in the next 2 years because of how fast things will go. And that is why, part of the reason why we created that chat, so that we will be able to at least keep our people informed so that they don't get surprises down the line. So let everyone please continue to develop themselves and continue to be relevant. And the fact that you've gotten a job does not mean that you should totally fold your arms away from the market. It may sound like awkward advice, right? Because you're not giving the other people the chance. But I always advise people, even though you found a job, please always try to do at least one interview per year so that you know what's happening in the market, so that you don't just stay in your comfort zone and you're not up to date on what's happening. Okay, so we agree that companies, a lot of companies that are still operating in the waterfall approach. By the way, waterfall is not totally useless. There are some industries that cannot do without waterfall. Like in the construction industry, you must start with the foundation and then you build and then get to roofing level. You have to go through things in the waterfall approach so that you don't miss out important elements that can put people at risk. But in the IT world and in those areas where we have more uncertainty, that's where Agile comes into play. In the construction industry, there's not much uncertainty because you know how deep your foundation should be, you know the kind of block to build, you know whether it's bricks, depending on the climate, depending on the soil types, right? So in industries where there's a lot of uncertainty, that's where Agile applies the most, right? So most of those companies that are trying to do their Agile transformation definitely need a change in mindset, a change in behavior and process. And that's why the Scrum Master role continues to be more relevant every day. I listened to a business analysis presentation, and I realized that business analysts are even worried that Scrum Masters are taking on their roles, because the Scrum Master role, if you look at it in depth, it has some elements of business analysis in it. And the way a Scrum team is structured into 3 parts: the product owner, Scrum Master, and the developers. The developer side also has some business analysts in it too. So there's really no title called business analyst in the Agile structure. And so business analysts are getting worried. And my advice to them, free advice, is please try and develop yourself in Scrum so that you continue to remain relevant in the industry. Okay, what do we need to succeed? These are the 6 main things, and there'll be room for us to discuss. The first thing is you need trainings, and then training again. Keep training. The training doesn't end. After you do your CSM, you do your CSPO, you do your SAFE, you continue to train. There's ATF, there's Agile Coach, there's so many trainings, right? If you even go on the Simply Access website, I'm sure if you click on courses, you see so many trainings there. And then you also have your certifications. Certifications are really good. Now, imagine you're a recruiter and you see 2 resumes. One resume is saying John Mary as the title, as the owner of that resume. And then the second resume is saying John Mary, CSM, CSPO, PMP, ATF, IC Agile, In all honesty, please, which resume would you decide to focus your attention on? The floor is open for discussion.
The one with the certifications.
Why?
Because usually when people write on their resume, I cannot validate what exactly they've written, but that certification kind of validates that, okay, this person has that training required.
Interesting. Thank you for that contribution. You hit it spot on. Does anyone have anything to chime in? No? Okay. Okay. So in actual facts, those with certifications keep themselves, give themselves added advantages by having those titles next to their names. And that is why you see people studying day and night to do their PMP, to do their CSM. Luckily for us, PMP is not mandatory for Scrum Master roles, but for me personally, I had to do my PMP, and it took me like a whole year to prepare and pass the exam. So the good news is that you don't need PMP for you to secure your Scrum Master, the first Scrum Master role, but you definitely need your CSM. You need your CSM as the minimum. I've seen some people who have just gotten their first role with just CSM, but because the competition is really high now, I'm always encouraging people, don't stop at CSM. Give yourself that added advantage so that when they look at 2 resumes that are carrying CSM, they can see CSPO or SAFE standing you out from the crowd. Then the third thing we need is experience. Now, this experience element is really, really interesting because a lot of companies don't want to hire fresh Scrum Masters. And a lot of Scrum Masters don't even know that they've been practicing Scrum in some of their roles. Now, let's see the 4 parts of a Scrum Master. So as a Scrum Master, you're mostly a servant leader, you're a coach, you're a teacher, you're a facilitator. And believe me, I can tell you that you've done this at some point in your career, especially when you have experience after school. But show of hands, has anyone taken any of these roles, even if it's just 2 out of the 4? Show of hands, please. Okay, 2 people, 3 people out of 15. 4, 6. 7, 8. And hey, the good news is, can anybody see a programmer or programming skills anywhere on this chart? No. You don't need to be a technical person to succeed as a Scrum Master. All you need to understand is process management. Yeah, okay. Okay, interesting. Thank you everyone for your feedback. It's interesting to know that a lot of us, more than 50% of us, have at least done 2 out of these 4 functions at some point in our career. So it's a green light for you to know that you can do it. You definitely can do it if you've facilitated. Even those that are wedding planners, right? They do all these things. They do the servant leader, the coaching, the teaching, the facilitator. It's something we've done before. It's something we are used to. So don't think because the title now is Scrum Master, you now start getting worried that, hey, can I do this? Is it possible? I've not done it before. It's in you. It's in you. Okay, don't mind me, I get too passionate sometimes. Okay, so the 4th one is having a winning resume. Everyone has a resume, but not everyone has a winning resume. And that is why you need experts to help you work on your resume. A winning job search strategy. Everyone has a resume and everyone is on the job market, but not everyone understands that there's a strategy behind job searching. You need a winning job search strategy. Then the 6th one is interview preparation. Having a good resume and having a good job search strategy is not enough for you to land your offer. You need to also impress them at the interview stage. Interviews are not easy to come by. And so when you get those golden opportunities, you must not waste it. You have to take full advantage and make sure that the interviewer leaves that place thinking of only you as the person that they interviewed the whole day. They get over 200 and something applications. They have to read through after the ATS systems have read through, right? And so you need to make them know that reading your own resume was not a waste of their time. How would you be able to do this? By preparing yourself. And at KX Consulting, we help you achieve all 6 of them because we've been able to help you get discounts for your training and your certifications 1 and 2. We've been able to give you the opportunity to gain your experience. How? By creating the platform, by allowing us to have these Tuesdays and Thursday sessions. We're all busy, right? For us to carve out this time, it shows dedication, it shows commitment, it shows courage, and it shows that I believe that everyone can do it. And I know that before the end of this year, a lot of us on that group would have gotten Scrum Master roles. I'm very passionate and I know that this will happen. So I don't know, I can see something on my screen for some reason. So I know I'm going to talk to us briefly about this experience element. How are we going to get the experience portion of this? I'll talk about it towards the end, so just stay tuned. Apart from these 6, do you think we need to add anything? The floor is open. Let's discuss. Do you think we need to add something else that would help us succeed? No? Okay. I'll take the silence as a no. Okay, next slide, please. Now, how most of us thinks this works? A lot of us come up with random career exploration strategies, and then we now wait until you know the exact job you want, or you wait until you hate your current life or your current role, and then you now start applying online and checking for job postings. And then you now come up with some resume, maybe a resume template that you saw online. You just download it and you feel it, you replace the name of John Doe with your own name, and you think that, oh, that's all that is required. No, it doesn't work like that. Some people I've worked with don't even use cover letters, but because they have a very, very strong resume, they nail it first application. And because they have a very powerful LinkedIn page, recruiters are the ones that reach out to them, not even them reaching out to recruiters. So there's a strategy behind all these things, and we all need to become aware of them. So how it works, just reiterating what you want, you need to get your skills, certifications, trainings, and then your experience. And then you need to do proper research, know how to put up your notifications, know how to take advantage of this type of groups, network, and we're going to give you the opportunity to do that shortly. Well, you also need to also know how to approach the job ads that are there, and how to reach out for referrals, how to get a good resume that wins. I've worked with some people that within a month, they've been able to switch to high-paying jobs. It's very possible. Once you know what to say at the interviews, once you know how to package your resume, it's doable. So the opportunity that we've been talking about, I mentioned that we'll be talking about number 3. Someone asked the question on the Scrum Hub about gaining experience. I don't know if we were able to catch that last week, but what we've decided is we've put something together, an opportunity. So normally our meetings on Tuesdays and Thursdays are from 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday. 8 p.m. to 8:45 p.m. we'll focus on having a facilitator speak. Now, anyone can be a facilitator. Once you feel like you have some presentation slides to present, if you need the opportunity to brush up your presentation skills, if you need the opportunity to sound more confident at interviews, this opportunity is available. You need to let us know, myself and Jyoti, you need to let us know ahead of time so that we can book you as a facilitator for that session. You come, you present to everyone your own idea, and everyone would listen and ask their questions, and then there'll be back and forth discussions on what we think, because at the end of the day, it's a win-win situation. You're going to learn, and you're going to take that learning to your interviews, and you prosper and shine. From 8:45 p.m. to 9:15 p.m., there will be presentation from Team X. Now, there's going to be team A, B, C, D, E, F to Z. And you can name your team whatever name you want to name it. This is optional, by the way. You can identify 5 people. I recommend that you identify 5 people that you don't even know, because it's a good networking opportunity. You network with them and you form that team. Let's say you call that team Team X. Every Tuesday, if team for a sprint cadence of about 10 days from this Tuesday to upper Thursday, every session Team X will present one ceremony. So the first ceremony may be sprint planning. The second ceremony may be daily stand-up and backlog refinement. The third sprint ceremony would be sprint review. And then the final one would be sprint retro. Now, these ceremonies, that team would present between 8:45 p.m. to 9:15. At every point, they will get a project that they will need to work on. There's a simulation that's going to be done at the end of this session so that we have an idea what is expected. From 9, sorry, this is supposed to be 9. From 9:15 to 9:30, we're going to have any other business and questions and answers. This is an opportunity for us to ask as many questions as we want. It's not going to be recorded. We'll switch off the recording and we will ask our questions and get feedback from one another. What's the expectation from Team X? So like I mentioned, Team X will be given a project to work on, and each team would have 3 developers. They're going to be, the 3 developers are going to come up with a design, 1 Scrum Master and 1 PO. And if they like, they can always rotate the Scrum Master role between themselves before the following Thursday, so that they can get a feel of how to facilitate these sessions. The tools that will be needed will be 1 free version of Jira, 1 free version of Confluence, 1 free version of Figma or Balsamic. And like I said, a project will be assigned to each team, whether it's A, B, C, X, Y, Z. While running out of time, by 8:45, I have to switch to the sprint planning simulation. But time. Looking for a job is time consuming. I will not lie to you. I make it sound so easy, but it's really time consuming. If and where possible, if you have the resources, my free advice would be try and use experts to get half of the work done, so that you know that it's just for you to show up at the interview and perform well after being prepared by the experts, right? Having a very good resume, we can help you. Having good interview prep, we can help you. Getting discounts for your training and certifications, we can help you. Getting this 1 free experience that you're getting by attending the Thursday and Tuesday sessions, we're doing our best to help you. So please try and take advantage of all the opportunities you have in front of you. For more information, please feel free to go to our website, www.kxconsultinglimited.com. And for our next session, we're right on time, 8:45. For our next session, we'll be taking the questions offline.